Hey guys, Morgan here at No Flash Inc. Got another video for you. Today we're going to be talking about the price point. Price point relates specifically to the hourly rate that we as tattoo artists charge. At the same time, when you go into a shop, you're also going to find that some artists will work and they'll actually look at the piece and determine what they're going to charge you based on that piece. But typically most artists are working on an hourly rate. So we're going to talk about the hourly rate. And the things that go into that and how we as tattoo artists develop and determine and decide that that's what our hourly rate's going to be. Nationally, the average is between $125 and $150. I recently bumped my price up to $125, so I'm right at the national average. The hourly rate is usually based on an artist's personal value, how they feel about their specific artwork. It's also, it relates to tattooing, but at the same time it relates to a whole lot of other things. When it comes to tattooing, one of the things you've got to think about when you're looking at an hourly rate is that tattoo artist is considering their technical ability, which is lining, their ability to do tonal shading, which is like the black and gray shading, and then color saturation with colored ink, if you're wanting a color tattoo. So those are some things, if they feel they're pretty good at all three of those things or do those things perfectly or very well, then obviously they're going to be charging more than someone who's not confident in their own abilities. Another thing is how long has that tattoo artist been tattooing. So that's something that they look into is, when you're an artist and you're deciding what your hourly price should be, you're always going to give consideration to how long you've been tattooing. And at the same time, as an artist, you think about your background. What have you done in your past as far as art's concerned? Have you gone to schools? How many credit hours do you have? In college and stuff like that? How much time have you actually spent studying art and working on your art and developing your art? So that's something that's taken into consideration. A lot of you guys, and I'm not everybody, but some people walk in and wonder, why is that so high? I've seen it. People walk into the shop, they ask what your hourly rate is, you tell them, they kind of roll their eyes and they walk out. Okay, that's fine. So it's one of those questions of, well, why is it so high? Well, we don't get a paid vacation. It just doesn't happen. If you want to go on vacation, if we as tattoo artists want to go on vacation, we have to, put that money away for a little bit and clear our books, make sure we have no appointments coming up, and there's a process that goes into that. And it's very hard to take a vacation because we don't get paid vacation. There's no paid sick days. So if I have a client that comes in and is feeling under the weather and they get me sick, which has happened, and I've been out for almost 2 weeks at a time, which is not good. That doesn't help me out, doesn't help me support my family, because tattooing is how I support my family. So it's one of those things, like, we don't have paid sick days. When we're sick, and we just got to deal with it and hope that we can, make up for what we missed out on while we were at home sick. There's no bonuses for outstanding performance or for Christmas. I don't get a Christmas bonus. Now I get tips for tattoos that I do. But everybody tips differently, and I'll do another video about tipping at some point, because I've had a lot of questions about that, and I'm not going to tell people what they should tip. Everybody's different, but the only bonus I really get is a tip. And some days that's $1, some days that's $100. It just depends upon who it is, and it depends upon the tattoo. Most tattoo artists, and I can't speak for everybody in general, and I'm not even going to speak for myself necessarily, but most tattoo artists don't have insurance plans, and they do not qualify for unemployment. So, they're out of work. They're not going to qualify for unemployment, and most tattoo artists don't have medical insurance. One of the bigger pieces to this is our skill set as tattoo artists is very expensive. The amount of money that we spend on the equipment we use, the supplies we use, the inks we use, is astronomical. We spend a lot of money on that just so we can provide you with a quality piece of artwork to wear the rest of your life. The amount of money I've spent on my machines over the last couple of years is ridiculous. I'm not even going to go into that. But those more expensive, better performing machines allow me to do my job the way I want to do it. So there's that part. And finally, another part of why we charge so much hourly is because as an artist, I see my ability to draw and paint and tattoo. It's a talent. It's a God-given talent. It's, you can practice at it and you can become good at it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, some people just have the eye for it. I've got the eye for it. I've got a talent. I don't feel that you can be trained to be an artist. You either are or you aren't. And I'm going to stick by that 100%. You know, there's people that say you can train someone to draw and train someone how to paint and teach them how to do all that. I mean, you can sit down and teach them. Doesn't mean they're going to be good at it. Doesn't mean that they can translate a drawing or a painting into a tattoo and put it on someone and have it look like it did on paper or on the computer screen or on the canvas or whatever. So that's one of those things, you know. I as an artist put a lot of value in my talent. And so with that said, that's why I charge what I do, because not anybody can do it. So that's pretty much the hourly rate piece, and that's why we charge what we do. As far as an hourly rate's concerned, there's also a shop minimum that a lot of shops have. My shop minimum used to be $45. It's now $60. Just looking at the cost of supplies and things, that's went up. And really, when you look at a shop minimum, which is for me is a 3-inch tattoo or smaller, usually one color, it costs money to set up a station. And really, after I've completed that tattoo and you've walked out the door, I'll be lucky if I made 10 to 20 bucks on that tattoo. So that's one of those things, is like, sometimes the shop minimum sounds like it's a lot for something small that you want, but really when you look at the amount of supplies and the cost of those supplies that goes into setting up the station for you, there's a reason for it. So just understand, when you come in and you're getting a 3-inch or smaller tattoo and it's only costing you 60 bucks, what the hell is 60 bucks? Like, seriously, I mean, it's nothing. In the bigger scheme, grander scheme of things, it's just nothing. And so to finish that up, talking about an hourly rate, and you walk into a shop and you hear their hourly rate, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so much. Something to think about, and it's a thought that I had the other day, but we as a civilization, a culture nowadays, will go out and buy the newest iPhone, newest Android, whatever, and think about the amount of money that we're spending on that. $1,000 to get you out of the door on a brand new iPhone. And really, how long do you have that iPhone for? 6 months to a year, and then what? You're on to the next iPhone, and you're into another contract where you're paying another $1,000. Like, come on. But with tattoos, and granted, I'm going to put a whole lot into tattoos because that's my livelihood. It's my life. Like, I love this shit. But spending the money to get a good tattoo is worth it, because that tattoo is not going to break. You're not going to drop it in water and it's going to not function any longer, or the newest tattoo isn't going to come out. I mean, yeah, maybe a newer style, but still, when you compare the amount of money you spend on these new phones, gadgets, whatever, and the amount of money that you spend on tattooing, you're wearing that tattoo the rest of your life. It's with you till you die, and then beyond that. So it's definitely worth the amount of money that you spend. So it's just something to think about. That's really all I got for today. Just kind of wanted to talk about pricing point. Help you guys understand why we as tattoo artists charge what we do. Hope that answers any questions, thoughts, concerns you've had about that out there. Hope that better prepares you to walk into my shop or another shop and kind of understand why we as artists are charging what we do. That's it. So, comments, questions, concerns, always appreciated in the comment section below. Likes, of course. Share this, inform others as I'm informing you. And subscribe to my channel, please. That's all for today. Thanks, guys.